difficult. Nick Freeman is the lawyer known as Mr. Loophole. Hello to you, Nick.
Morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. So, as you just heard from Anthony, runs a small country pub in the middle of nowhere. You've got to drive there to get there. It would finish off his business if we were to have a zero limit on alcohol. Is a zero limit necessary as far as you're concerned?
No, it's not. I think the economic side of things should be a separate argument, to be quite honest, and with all due respect to pub owners like the person you referred to. I mean, we have the highest level in any country in the EU, and at that level, the chances of you having an accident increase fourfold. So clearly it's too high, and why the government haven't brought it down, I really don't know, because it would be such a simple thing to do. But one has to be reasonable and proportionate, and the level that's just been adopted in Scotland is in line with many EU countries. That's 50. That's a fairly safe level. And it's but zero's not realistic. For example, there are so many different reasons why. People will never be able to judge how long alcohol will stay in your system. You might have some fruitcake that's laced with some alcohol. So if you've got a tiny bit in you, what are we saying? You're going to be disqualified. It's not workable and it's not necessary. We just need a level that is relevant to safety and relevant to society today. And that level, in my view, is 50. It's the level that Scotland's adopted. It's also important, I think, to bear this in mind. You were just referring to people who might be affected by one pint or one glass of wine, and your previous listeners sort of said, well, if you're tired or angry, you've had a row. All those elements are capable of being criminal. So, for example, if you've had a glass of wine and you're driving all over the place, the police are perfectly entitled to arrest you and charge you with driving whilst unfit, and you will be dealt with in exactly the same way if the case was proved as you would be for drink driving. So it is a criminal offence if you are adversely impaired through one glass of wine. So we don't want to look at this myopically.
But isn't it easier to wriggle out of it because it's quite subjective?
It is subjective, but so is drink driving. So you can have 2 pints one day and be at a certain level, and the next day or later on that same day it can be a completely different level. But what I'm saying is that there is this safeguard. So if you are adversely affected, even if you are below the legal limit, you can still be prosecuted. And the problem is we don't have police on the street. So to a large extent, it's so academic. I mean, there are far more people driving with drugs in their system, and they're not touched, by and large, because there's just no police on our roads.
Yeah.
So
we need
it's
more.
A separate argument, but what we need is a reasonable level, not just a zero level.
I don't think very many people listening to this programme would suggest we don't need more police. I think we do need more police out there on our roads and everywhere. Nick, thank you so much. Nick Freeman is a lawyer known as Mr. Loophole.